When we first came into this world, it is safe to say that we did not know anything. And as we grew up, we observed our surroundings and started to learn. We learned how to speak, how to behave, how to have proper manners. Our parents taught us how to read. Our teachers taught us various subjects. Our friends taught us how to play. It is fair to say that we have learned a lot of things when we were young. But as we grow up, as we graduate, and after a few years we stop learning, but why should that bother us? After all, we have already learned all the things that we needed to know to become a productive member of our society. So, what's the problem? Well, the fact of the matter is that while we think that we know a lot of things, we are actually still very ignorant. We are ignorant on how to build and maintain a loving relationship. We are ignorant on how to get financial success. We are ignorant about spiritual matters, and we are ignorant about our health. In fact, I'm sure that if researchers make a list of all the things that we don't know, then I could read that list for the rest of the day and still not be through with it. I did not know how little I knew about social skills and communications skills until I read the book How to Make Friends and Influence People. I had no idea how little I knew about financial success until I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I knew very little about habits until I read the book Mini Habits and Atomic Habits. In fact, the more I read, the more I realize just how very little I know. Well, you might argue that people are generally not that ignorant, that I must be particularly stupid if I don't know all these things on my own. But statistics tell a very different story. Let's take a look at USA, the most powerful country in the world. More than one third of the adult population have obesity. Over 50% relationships end in divorce. Over 11% people live below poverty line. Now ask yourself this. Would all those relationships still end in a disaster if the couple took the time to read a book on relationships every now and then? Could the same be said for health and wealth? And while there is no way to measure how many of us are successfully fulfilled, I suppose we can agree that the numbers is not very high. So I suppose we can agree that we humans are not so knowledgeable and wise after all. And now that we have set up how lacking most of us are, the question becomes how to stop being so ignorant. How can we become wise and knowledgeable instead? And the answer is actually very simple, as it always is. Read books. I recently met a shopkeeper who was having some troubles with his shop. Now imagine if Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and one of the most successful businessmen in the world, came and gave him personal advice on how to run his shop. How much would such advice be worth? Now, I think we can all agree that Jeff Bezos will probably never come and give personal advice to this shopkeeper. But while this guy cannot meet and learn from Jeff Bezos personally, he can do the second best thing. He can read a book on Jeff Bezos or how he built Amazon. If you go online, then you will no doubt find such a book for less than $10. Would such a book be of help to this shopkeeper? What about a book from Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart? What about Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, or Warren Buffett? And speaking of these three, you will find that each one of them says that the habit to read is one of the best habits that you can make. And if people like them are telling us that we should read books, then that should tell us something, no? And well, if even that does not impress you, then here is a little piece of advice, a little nugget of knowledge that you might find interesting. Studies show that a person is the average of the 5 people that he spends most of his time with. If you take a person who has 5 friends who are all gym enthusiasts, then you will find it very likely that this person will have a healthy body as well. If you find a person that spends all his time with 5 beggars, then that person is probably a beggar as well. If the 5 people that surrounds you all the time are millionaires themselves, then chances are that you are a millionaire as well, or you are on your road to become one. With that said, I think we can all agree that meeting such successful people in real life is not an easy feat. At the same time, just because you cannot sit and talk with them does not mean that you cannot read about them, about how they grew up, what hobbies they have, what habits they consider to be important, what values they have, what kind of principles they hold dear to themselves. You can learn all that and more for less than $10 and a few hours of your time. And yet, so few of us ever do it. That is all I have to say on this topic. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. See you later.